Today is September the 12th, and today we have myself, and we also have speaking about video streaming, and also we have Dave Ginsburg speaking everything iOS. But please don't hesitate to join us online sometime at our website at mycau.org. Join us if you're not a member, if you're watching this online. Today, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce our president, who's Dave Ginsburg. He is one of those serious techies. And what I mean by serious techies, he's into, if it takes electricity, he's more like, and it's about computers, he's more likely into it. Because during his daytime job, he works with Windows and he does some Mac stuff too, but he also does iOS products. So Dave has been, what, 20 some years, I'm sure, and then the computers and stuff. Okay, so go ahead, Dave, and we'll kick it off with you regarding iOS.
Okay, just ask everybody mute their mics. I'm gonna go ahead and mute all right now. If you have a question, you can unmute your mic and then speak to me when you want to. We've turned this into a panelist format, so you can turn your cameras on, you can speak, and I'll be doing all the fun stuff that we do each time we get together. I think many of you were at the iPhone SIG on Tuesday, and we had a lot of great information on there. And I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the news, and we can go from there. The big thing is the Apple event that is going to be coming up here on Tuesday, I'm pretty excited about it. It was going to be interesting to see where we go as far as that goes, and see how it goes here. Sorry, I'm being distracted here. I'm trying to bring this up here. Let me share my screen here so we can talk here. Bear with me. Do this. Okay. And there's many sites out there that have been talking about this. This was the Apple event logo. Everybody who was on the Apple's email list got an email about it, I'm pretty confident it's going to be the Apple Watch, new Apple Watch, which is going to be the Watch Watch OS, the Series 6 that they're talking about, and it is unusual that they were going to release this soon here. So I don't think it's going to be the iPhone. I'm pretty confident of all the rumors that I've been reading about. It'll be pretty unusual to see if they would do it because of delays in production and such. So some of the notable things that are probably going to be on the watch that they're talking about is the blood oxygen monitoring is potential of a feature there. And they also been talking about Apple MacBook Pros potentially being announced. I'd be tend to doubt it. The iPad, I think it's going to have stuff going on on the low end of the models. They're talking about an iPad Air, an Air 4, the fourth gen, and potentially an 8th gen on the low end of iPads. So people who are in the market for iPads could potentially see some interesting releases. This discussion is that they're going to put a Touch ID on the side button, which should be interesting. See if that's the case. We'll see where that goes, as well as support for the Apple Pencil, the second generation Apple Pencil. So that kind of leads to believe that it potentially could have a USB-C charging connector as opposed to the Lightning connector, because of course the second gen pencil is magnetic, that attaches to the iPad Pros. So that would be interesting to see where that goes. Had some rumblings about maybe potentially a HomePod, a smaller HomePod, cheaper HomePod. I don't know where that's going to go, but definitely going to be interesting. We always love Apple events. And I think the iPhone's probably going to get announced. They'll have another event in October. This site actually has the details of what to be expecting with the iPhone sizes. 5.4, 6.1, and 6.7. I think they're talking about potentially releasing the smaller size iPhones first, and then the Pro models, which would be the larger size, would come out later, like November, December. I'm sure that all has to do with related to the production issues and limitations there. So we would definitely we will definitely be interesting to see where it goes. Anybody have any questions or comments? You want to unmute your mic about what you want to expect, what you're going to expect, or what you'd like to see at the event? Randy, you don't have any comments on the news? What happened with this?
I haven't been reading too much about it, so
okay.
I can't add too much. I've been busy with other things, so I haven't had a chance to read what they're prophesying.
No worries.
This is Tom. I have one. I'm looking for
great.
AirTag.
Oh yeah, the AirTags. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, yes. If anybody's not familiar what the AirTags are, it's going to be similar to a product called Tile. It's a little device, like a little square device that actually you can put on your keychain, you can put in your wallet, so you can find things. Yeah, the AirTags are I think it's pretty solid that they may be releasing that as well on Tuesday, or talking about it. So it should be some interesting things next week, and we'll see how it goes there, and see how it goes when it comes to that. So we'll definitely be interesting to see where it goes. Any other questions about it? All right. So let me talk a little bit. I want to give a little more of a sneak peek about iOS 14. For those of you who were at the iPhone SIG, I did talk a little bit more, but there have been some interesting developments since the 8th beta came out. Let me share my iPhone here, if it lets me. Give me one moment. It's been kind of slow today. There we go. Everybody see that okay? All right. So I'm going to go into an email here. Everybody sees that email? And this is a link that was sent to me, okay? Or I sent myself, probably, I guess I should say. And you know, we do this all the time. We get a link on your iPhone. You want to be able to read it, right? So you tap it and you expect, oh, Safari's going to open. Look what opened, Google Chrome. So they just finally added the first browser in beta that allows you to be able to have Google Chrome as your default browser. So you don't have to use Safari anymore to be your default. And actually, this article that's here started talking about it. So let me show you what they did. So if you go into settings, and if you go into look for Chrome, and again, of course, we'll talk in a lot more depth with iOS 14 once it comes out and everybody has it in their hands. So, because obviously I show you stuff and you'll be like, huh? Because you don't have it and you can't play with it. So, so notice this right here, default browser. I went into settings and I went into Chrome. This is the Chrome settings. There's the settings for the default browser. So you tap that, and now you have the two choices of your default browser. Now, Chrome is the first browser they've looks like that got approved by Apple. I would venture to say Firefox and Edge probably the next two that would probably get it soon after. Pretty cool. I mean, I talked about this earlier this year when the betas first came out, and I think it's an exciting thing. People who don't want to have Safari as their default browser want to be using other browsers, and now you have the choice. You know, Apple has had control of that for many years on iOS, and I think they finally have realized that people really like to use different browsers when they use the internet. So, and then other thing I wanted to kind of mention with the app library. This is the new app library that's going to be available soon, as far as how it puts together your apps in one place and creates a library. This is Apple curated, so they put together all these apps for you. So it actually just breaks it down. And then recently with this latest beta, they just added other groups, and I think they're doing a much better job of grouping them. So if you see here right now, I just loaded this phone up with apps so everybody could see apps, because I haven't been really going through and using every single app. But not that I use every single app on my iPhone anyway, since I have like 200 or 300 of them sitting on my phone. So, but if you see how it groups it here, and if you notice here, it's got utilities and it's got social. So and you're seeing it actually put all the apps together here, and it fits as a category. And here's creativity. So yeah, you got your camera and some of the Google apps here, and that's us, Twitch. And entertainment, here's all the apps that you probably want to have as entertainment. There you see it there, Disney and Prime Video and all that. And then so it really did a great job. It really, I thought, was pretty impressed of how it really grabbed what these types of apps are and actually helped you group it. And then the other thing that I'm really happy that they're doing is this, being able to scroll down to the bottom here, and now brings you as an alphabetical list of every single app that you have on your iPhone, where that was that's always been a challenge as far as people changing trying to find apps and having to know where they're at by what we're so used to is being here on a home screen, right? So they let me see if I can get this to work. So they changed a little bit how to make the icons wiggle. You just tap on a blank spot at the bottom of it here, but it also has this option here, which is called Edit Pages. So if you want to be able to hide pages, like if I wanted to hide all the pages except for, you can only hide up to all of them. So if I had more pages here, I'd be able to hide them. So now, once I get back out here, so I only have the app library and one page of apps. So it kind of makes things easier to keep clean, because I know some of us are a little OCD. We don't like to have all of our pages flapping through all these pages. I mean, the apps don't disappear; they're there, and you have, of course, the app library to search through it. So, but I think it's another cool feature. Again, I'm going to go into this more in depth as once iOS 14 comes out, you guys have it in your hands, and believe me, there's going to be lots of discussion about what else all has. So, any questions at all about that at all? All right.
Yeah, hey, Dave. I'm as a Apple user, why would I want Google stuff? I mean, I know Google stuff. Why would I want to use their browser?
Good question. I don't think you'd probably want to. I think everybody's so used to Safari, they just stick with it. But I like that Apple's finally giving us a choice, because you don't want to be. I think we've worked with Apple stuff for so long, we're just kind of used to working with what's available, and it's definitely it's a choice. But yeah, if you don't want to change it, you don't have to, obviously. So Chrome was the first one that got approved. I've been kind of liking Edge and Firefox as of late. I like Firefox on my Mac, and nice thing about Firefox on your Mac, when you're looking at something on your phone, you know how it reachability comes up. I can actually go to the website right by clicking the icon from the dock on Firefox if you've got your account synced. So all browsers have some nice flexibility to them. But if you're used to Safari, yeah, there should be no need to do this. But this is kind of a game changer. So
yeah, I agree, Dave. I'm looking forward to having Firefox available.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like Firefox like I do, I mean, some people really like Chrome. Some people like Firefox. Firefox has a lot of good features. So go ahead, Frank. I saw you just raised your hand. Unless I didn't make you you probably got in late because I haven't been looking here. Hold on 1 second here. Oh yeah, there's lots of attendees who've gotten here because Bob didn't find his link, so Bob's not here at the moment. Go ahead, Frank. Your mic is muted now. Frank, are you there?
I'm muted. Yeah, I'm here. Did you get me?
Okay. I can. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering if can you hide all the pages and just have the library on the phone?
No, at least currently you cannot.
Just want, that's, sure.
If obviously it's beta software, so that's always subject to change.
Sure, sure.
So yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, I'd like it to happen, but I'm kind of odd.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's got their little quirks of wanting to know how they want their iPhone to work. So
Right.
all right, with the limited amount of minutes I have here, I am going to show you a couple tips that I did not show on Tuesday, but some of you are here. This will be new since you weren't there on Tuesday. Let me share my other iPhone here. Give me a moment, and we'll get you a couple tips here. All right. Everybody sees that. One of the cool things I like about Notes is its feature of scanning. And I'm not sure if anybody knew this as far as how you're able to get to scanning quickly. If you tap and hold the Notes button here, of course, we're used to having used to being able to get to access to these memos, but I think this is really cool that you can get right to these functions in Notes real quickly. So you can create a new note right from there, of course, and then you also can create a new checklist. If you want to take a new photo or put a photo on something, you could do that. You could scan a document as well, and of course, those other two are always there. So let's say I wanted to scan a document here. Grab something here. So I just got this new magazine here. I want to scan this. So now it was quick. I brought it up and I scan it. And I keep the scan and I'm good. And it just did it right from you want to save it, of course.
Should we see this, Dave?
I can't see your screen, Dave.
You're right, because I turned it off and I'm because I don't have a cohort here helping me out. I got the sidetracked here. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, I'm sorry, Dave. I thought it was just me because I changed my screen.
No, Bob didn't make it, so he's
there. We go.
He doesn't have a link here. Let me try that again here. Now let's see. All right, so if you tap and hold the Notes button, here you go. So here are some of the choices that you have here, and as you see here, you have new photo. You can create a new checklist on the fly. I find that's cool. So it brings you right into Notes right away, and you can start working your checklist without having to go in the Notes and initiating that. And you also have, of course, this is a tap and hold to get to that. You have the option of taking a photo or scanning the document real quick. And I think that's a common thing a lot of us do is we probably want to scan a document really quickly, and being able to scan a document really quickly right to Notes without having to go into the app right away, I think is kind of a neat, feature here. So,
can you scan directly from the photo app? Because to me, I don't necessarily want to save my scan and Note. I wanted to go into files.
In this case, no. I don't. This is actually going into the Notes app itself. So in this case, it would scan the document and put it into a note. If you wanted to do a scan and put it in files, you would have to use a different app, like Scanner Pro is one of my favorite apps. This one here, where you could scan documents and it would give you the option of putting it in the Files app if you wanted. So.
Actually, you can scan directly into the Files app itself if you're.
Oh, that's right, the Files app. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I completely forgot about that. Yeah. So if you go into the Files app here, Marcia, I forgot that you can do that. You could scan right into here as well. So, all right. One more tip, and we're going to wrap things up here. Time is getting short. I a lot of times want to be able to take a screenshot of a website, and here's like a search I was just doing. And we all know how we can do screenshots by tapping the volume up button and the power button on the side, and then you get this here, right? So if you go over here, I don't know if anybody noticed that this is up here at the top here. You have just the screen that you took a screenshot of, or you could do what's called the full page. So if I tap full page, notice what it does here. It's actually giving you a full page view of that web page. So if I were to go ahead and tap done and save it, now because it's such a larger size file, it would save it as a PDF. So if I go save PDF to files, and then I just go ahead and click save. So now it's in the Files app. We go back here, and there it is. And now see what it did? It created a whole PDF of this. And then, of course, I can share this to your Mac. You could share this anywhere you want. So it keeps going because that was a long search. So so you do have that option on screen sharing. So but I think it's a cool feature to have, and I really like the screen capturing the screenshots is really cool, because if you look here, it's got a lot of great edit tools here. You can do a measuring tool. You can mark things up. You can change the color palette. You can add signatures, text, magnification. Find this very handy. I'm sure many of you have utilized this before. So. All right, with that, my time is up. I thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed what we provided, and I'll swing it back over to George.
Okay, don't forget that Dave hosts our iOS SIG. We just had one this past Tuesday, and if you missed it, you missed some good stuff. He just went over some things, but don't hesitate to sign up for our iOS SIG, which, when's the next one, Dave?
It'll be in October, because we'll have lots of things to talk about from this event, and iOS 14 hopefully will be out by then too.
All right, so you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, all right, so I guess it's my turn, huh?
It is.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen here. I guess you guys don't want to see that. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-mm.
No, okay. So I guess I need to press the right button, huh?
That might work.
The share button. Yeah.
Let's see. Now can you see it?
Nope.
Still don't see it, George.
Okay. Oh, you choose the screen, then you hit the share button. That kind of helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Now we got it.
So today I'm going to talk about some more TechMiser deals for you. We're back from our summer break, and of course it's getting ready to get cold here in Chicago. So what happens? Everybody comes inside. So now we're going to actually sit back down in front of all our devices, and one of our devices is our televisions or streaming, because we're going to be inside. It's going to be cold, so we're going to start streaming now. I actually went out and did a little search, and you know how I am. I believe in the saving money. I went out and did a little searching on video streaming. Now, of course, if you were at the iOS SIG, Dave was talking about how he pays for YouTube. You know me, not gonna do that. I thought about it, Dave. I really did. I looked, and I was like,
the ads drive me nuts. I just can't.
$11.99 a month. Never mind. I'll deal with the ads. Because let me show you something. When highest paid executives in video. Let's start looking here. See this? CEO of Fox. You see his total compensation? His salary was $3 million. He ended up with 39. Okay. NBC Universal. Again, salary $3 million, ended up with 39. I was like, wow, you guys can see these numbers here, okay? We all love Bob Iger, okay? I will admit I contributed to his salary, but 44 million? I'm like, well, excuse me, 47. He got some other stuff there. That's the total. And then we have here at the top, the CEO of CBS, well, the former acting CEO of CBS, $125 million. I was like, how did he get that much?
Yeah.
And you guys mute yourselves, please.
I was going down.
Yeah, hold on.
You took care of yourself and me.
Hey,
Please
Jeff,
mute your mics.
So-
Hold on, I lost my screen here.
Okay. So now that got me interested in like, how did he actually get $125 million when you look at CBS is in the bottom of
Sorry, George, I'll have to unmute.
All right. Okay. I'm unmuted. You guys can hear me now? Somebody? Okay, good. Okay. Well, you see here, the CBS CEO made $125 million. And I was like, I don't watch CBS. All I watch on CBS is 60 Minutes. Well, when I started actually going out doing some research, I figured out how they made how he got paid all that amount. Because I'm going to go through these different services, and one of these services is actually all of these services that I'm going to talk about are free. You don't have to pay anything. Okay. First one I'm going to talk about is this website, Crackle. You can actually go and to this website and just click and start watching a movie. You just go to the website and click, and up comes the movie. You see it's starting to load here. Of course, to lower my blood you do get because I can still. Of course, unfortunately, you do get the things that Dave doesn't like, ads. But remember, there's more money in your pocket. So I was really shocked that when you have on this website, there's TV shows. Now, remember, you only have so many hours in a day, but by the way, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning because of one of these sites that I'm going to show you. But there's TV shows on here. There's movies. You know, it's just a plethora of stuff. Free. I mean, the one thing I will say is the ads that come online are not as bad as the ads on regular television. But the one thing about it is free. I mean, look, there's a lot of stuff here.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Crackle has been on Apple TV for those who have Apple TV for quite a long time. So yeah, it's easier to get to.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing that up. A lot of these websites actually have apps that you can bring up on your Apple television. One thing I have noticed in this, you get certain things on your Apple TV that you may not get on the website and vice versa. So because one of them, I'll explain, because like, here's the next one, Peacock. This just came out. Oh my God, if you want to go out and watch certain Saturday Night Live skits, because they had in here where you could click and every one of Chadwick Boseman's, every time that he appeared, you could actually see that step, in succession. It was really good. But there's several different, and you can watch like certain different, the way they curate these things. And again, no credit card required. And by the way, for those of you who actually have Comcast or Xfinity internet or television, you get a deal that you get less commercials. So you might want to, so you definitely want to sign up for this. But like I said, there's more and more. Remember, you only have so many hours in a day, but here's some more things to watch. And of course, there is, if you want everything they have to offer, but remember, I'm all about free. So why pay the $4.99 when there is plenty of free content out here? Because when you've exhausted all the free content here, they'll add more or just go to another service. A lot of us actually have network attached storage, and there is Plex. Plex now has television where you can see on a free live on demand TV. I was just like, really? And again, oh, by the way, this channel here, America's Funniest Videos, you can just sit and watch that all day. If you have a child, here you go. Everybody, you got grandkids, nieces, nephews, click, plop them down in front of television because you need that time to get your sanity back. And there's also different languages. A lot of these different services have things in different languages. One thing that somebody told me that they did was they actually they took like multiple screens and they put one in English and one in like Spanish, and they actually were able to learn Spanish that way. So you can use it for that. Also, this is Tubi, T-U-B-I. All of these links I'll place on the community. So one thing I will tell you is that when you're looking at some of these, like let's say that like me, I like the Lucy Show. I love Lucy, the Lucy Show, the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour. Some of these services only have certain seasons. So what you can do is go from one to the other. This shocked me when I saw this, because we all know, because you saw that was just Star Trek on there. Because a lot of the Star Trek stuff is on the CBS All Access, and we know we're not going to pay for CBS All Access, right? And that's one of the reasons why he got paid all that money, because all the Star Trek stuff like Picard and Discovery is behind that CBS wall. But not everything, because there are some Star Treks that are actually you can find on these different services. Now, this is one of the movies. Okay. And then, believe it or not, there is free stuff on Netflix. I don't know if you all know this. What it is they've allowed you to watch a couple of series to try to get you hooked, but we're not going to get hooked. We're just going to watch the free stuff, and we're going to go from there. We're not going to actually pay them. But don't forget that you can share logins, because people do that. Okay. But there are free series that you can see on, you know what, I'm going to watch this, Boss Baby, because I'm still a kid. I like cartoons, animated, especially when you look at the Pixar. That's one of the reasons why I actually did pay for Disney Plus. But I don't know if a lot of you are aware, but Internet Movie Database, IMDb, actually has a TV streaming also. So where you can actually watch different things. So a lot of these, all of these different services have TV and different TV series and movies. Okay. Now here is the okay. Let me accept this. This is the reason why I have been staying up late at night. Is this Pluto TV? Oh my God, they have so many different movies. Let me see here. Show guide. Let's see if I can get that up. And this is owned by CBS. They have, and oh my God, the sound and the clarity on my Apple TV 4K, on my 4K television is just amazing. But the bad thing is that there is so much on here to watch. It's like, and then here's the other thing. They have a 24-hour Carol Burnett show channel. So you can sit there for 24 hours continuously watching Carol Burnett. And this is the other thing. There's this Nosy channel. There is, I know most people don't like this, but if you ever want to watch like Jerry Springer and the Maury Show, those are all here. It's just like if you're into Deal and No Deal, there's that. There's so many different channels on here that you can just sit and watch. And of course, there's other things as you see here. There's the news. The one thing I'm going to probably try this later is about sports, because of course, sports is a very hard thing to find for free. But there's just so much on here to watch. Because I got hooked on watching one show that I never watched before, which is Love and Hip Hop. And I was like, I should have never started watching this, because it's just, like I said, I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning. But there is so much here. If you are an Amazing Race fan, you can just sit and watch Amazing Race, because we know like today it's going to rain. So here you go. And for those people who can't figure out what they want to watch and where they want to watch it, here you go, Decider. Yes, there's a website and an app. I'm not sure if they have an app for this, but there is a website for that, Decider. It's a website that can actually help you decide what to watch. Whether it's find different movies and find whether it's on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, you can do that. But there is also, believe it or not, Google. You can go to Google and type what's on or what to watch, and then actually click here and on something, and you can see your watch options, where you can see it free, like if you have Amazon Prime Video, and if you don't, select which service that you do have. Okay, yeah, this would not work right now. All right, it worked before. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see, watch options, select your services. Well, oh, Okay, I guess I have to sign in. And yeah, you have to sign in. Okay. And it gives you different options that you can choose for the different services that you actually subscribe to. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
George, do you still have a day job?
Well, remember, there's COVID.
Yeah, well, still,
But
there's only 24 hours in a day.
I don't disagree with you. And because of COVID, and I have a lot of extra time.
Okay.
Well, I do and I don't, because there's things I should be doing. But you know, when there's those times when you should be doing stuff and you're like, I don't feel like doing anything, and you pick up the remote and there you are.
Okay.
George, I have a question. I really appreciate your services to find the neatest, least expensive way to do things. But when you get into your 70s, you realize that time is way more important than money. So if you subscribe to these things that you say, do you get rid of commercials? Because I don't want to waste 1 nanosecond of my $150 an hour as a therapist watching a commercial. So can we get non-commercial stuff from all that stuff you showed us?
Some of these things, yes. Remember, I'm the tech miser. I'm not spending money, so I can't answer.
I got you. Yeah.
I really can't answer all of them. Some of them you can, some of them you can't, because the Pluto TV, I don't believe it offers that, but there's so much stuff on there. But also, if you have because remember I was talking about websites and the apps, like Pluto TV is included actually in my Samsung television on the smart TV features. However, what I noticed is the app on the Apple TV is better than what I got from Samsung for free. So just want to bring that up. So, and remember, if in the event that you don't want to watch what someone else is watching, you can bring these up on your iPads too.
George, I got one more for you that you didn't mention, called Flickstor, Flixtor.
Let's see.
So I'll keep you busy watching even more shows.
Is that Flixtor?
That's it. Yeah, Flickstor.
See, there we go. See the reason why we always come to these meetings. By the way, anybody who has Disney Plus, I'm going to put this out there. Do not pay for it. Wait, then we'll all get it for free. Because I really think that ABC, I mean, you saw the amount of money that Bob Iger made. If you didn't, I can go back here and show it to you. And I have no problem with people making money, but 47, excuse me, 47. Oh, excuse, and look, well, that's down from the previous year, 65.
Yeah, right. That's
I wonder what happened. But but see, now you guys see how he made this 125 million. Because Pluto television is everywhere. And I was like, okay, now I see. Because one thing you look at, if you got, you could look at the CBS All Access, you got CBS, all the different things, and then you look at Pluto television being everywhere. Because a lot of these services, because like Crackle and Plex actually have a lot of the Pluto stuff. And I think it is Pluto that they're using. So I said, well, and when you're CBS who owns Pluto and you're selling the commercials, there you go. Now we see how he made his $125 million.
Hi, George. It's Tom.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out, you mentioned this once before, that with some of the T-Mobile plans, ours, you get Netflix for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, no, you're paying for Netflix. But
right, I know. Nothing in the world is free.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm. That is true. But see, all these are just totally free. You don't have to have anything else. Just go to the website and click. You did not see me type in anything other than the website address.
So you're saying no sign in?
No sign-ins whatsoever. None. type the website and go.
And was it Plexter was the one?
I will put all these links out on the community.
I know, but I was wanting to know the ones with that had like the regular news and stuff.
I think just about all. I know Pluto TV has news on it, and it wouldn't surprise me if they all do, to be honest with you, because news is something that we're all into. So it wouldn't surprise it out here. The nice thing is when you look at this Pluto TV, you see over here how it actually has this option where you can click on different things. Now none of us want to watch the election 2020 stuff, of course, but but you have this right here. I like how they actually do this on Pluto. It gives you these categories. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
George, this is Celeste. If you want local news, there's one called Locast, LOCAST.
Yeah, I talked about Locast. The one nice thing about this, it actually has, as you see, different cities, and Chicago's one of the cities on Pluto.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions on anything? Remember, all of these links will be in our community. If by chance you're watching this and you're not a member and part of our community, please don't hesitate to sign up for membership right here at our website at myscau.org. Okay. And let me show you what you're missing out in the community right here. For those of you who are not members, all these different things that we have talked about. And I'll be posting these links here too. But now we're going, if there are no more questions, we're going to switch over into our Q&A segment. This is where, guess what? You guys are the part of the meeting. So we're switching over to open Q&A. So if you have a question, go ahead and unmute your mic and don't hesitate to ask away. Let's see.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
On iPhone, I dictate a lot of my text messaging, and after I, tap to get the keyboard back, I try to correct, some of the typing that it didn't get correctly. And it seems to sometimes highlight phrases, and I just want to get to a specific word, and it seems like it doesn't want to let me just tap on a specific word and correct it.
So your question, Marcia, is how do you get to that specific word?
Yeah.
Dave actually showed that if you hold down on the space bar, when the keyboard comes up, hold down the space bar and it changes your, it basically allows you to move around the whole screen. He showed that. He showed that in our meeting. So in the iOS SIG meeting. So you might want to go back and either look at that or where's Dave? I know Dave.
I know how to use it now.
Okay, you know how to use that? Okay. Yeah, that's
I had to step away. I'm here. I'm back.
Okay. That to me would probably be the easiest way to actually do that.
Yes, I agree. That just tap and hold the space bar and it turns the keyboard into like a mouse pad, basically. Like a touchpad.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Quick question for George.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do all of those services that you just mentioned work on a smart TV or only on your computer?
All of those, some of those actually have websites. Some of them have apps for smart televisions. It really depends on your television. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is that some televisions will bring up certain services and some televisions won't. Some of them actually have apps for different TVs. So
I like to add to that.
I will say this, Pluto is the most widely available one, Pluto. That seems to be like almost everywhere. So you just have to go into your television and actually take a look. But remember, if you connect your computer or your iPad to your TV, and then you have access to essentially almost everything.
I have an addition to that is what I found is a lot of the smart televisions. The reason, George, you said that like Hulu isn't as good on the TV, the Samsung, as it is on the Apple TV, is most of the streaming boxes are there. They update themselves quickly and et cetera, but the TVs don't. So
Right.
they're 1 or 2 or 3 tenths of a point back before they do that. And that I never use my smart TV's apps. I always use Apple TV.
I'm with you on that, Frank. Yeah, those smart TV apps. I mean, I've got an older TV, probably with two or 3 years, and a lot of times I don't even update it anymore. So
right.
That's why it's great to have an Apple TV. And I'll second that with what you mentioned, George, about the Apple TV. I mean, the apps are just amazing. I mean, they really just do a great job of writing these apps. And speaking of local TV, I just noticed ABC7, their news now has an app that's on the Apple TV that'll give you continuous streaming of the local news if you want to be able to grab it and be able to watch the news anytime you want to. So there are some great choices out there.
Yeah, and that just recently came out on the Apple TV. And you know, when they first came out, I was like, oh, look at this. It's no commercials. And lo and behold, they started adding commercials in. So.
Well, that was the hook.
Well, and yeah,
there's never not going to be any commercials.
And the one thing I will tell you is, remember when you're using like your Apple TV, and especially if you have the 4K Apple television, and versus your cable box, because your cable box has a degraded or a compressed signal, and it's not as sharp as what the Apple TV signal is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Can anybody? Whoops, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Margie.
Can anybody give any insight into the Apple TV remote? I think it is the least user-friendly device on this planet. I get so frustrated.
Use the remote app. You have an iPhone. Use the remote app on your iPhone and you'll be a lot happier.
Well, I've been using that. I have the iPad, the iPhone, and the remote from the actual unit. And yeah.
It takes a lot of practice. People make these little, that one's coming. I don't have that one. Dave, tell us about that one.
Yeah, I did a review of this. This is called the Function 101 remote. This is a remote that is exclusively for the Apple TV. They released this I believe it was in Switzerland. And this remote, I wasn't sure if it was ever going to come into the United States, and it finally did. There's tons of reviews online about it as well. It's an amazing remote. It's a physical button remote, because I know a lot of people don't like the Apple TV remote because it's just hard to navigate. The touchpad thing is not great, and not everybody likes I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Bob. There's one on the iPhone too. And it does work, but this remote's going to give you a lot more enjoyability of navigating the Apple TV. And as you see what these buttons are, they're all nice, easy to push buttons. This remote's not expensive at all. It's $30, $29.95, and it's great. The only downfall to this remote is the fact that you won't have access to any of the voice services, so like Siri. And
I don't use that anyway.
And a lot of people don't use that, right? So I that's why I think, you're used to having a remote like this for stuff like your cable TV and others. That this will fit nicely, and really it makes it a much better experience.
By the way, if you're looking for a remote for your Apple TV, here you go. If you want more buttons, because I actually use my Logitech remote, and you can set this up almost however you want it, and maybe this will. If you want more buttons. I mean, me personally, I actually kind of like the Apple TV remote in a sense because it has less buttons, but I actually programmed my Apple television, as I said, for my Logitech remote. So that way I don't have to pick up the Apple TV remotes, because I actually have 2 Apple TVs. And to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, I don't know where those little Apple TV remotes are. I always know.
That's the other problem. They get stuck in your couch cushion.
Exactly.
I don't lose. Function 101. Is that what it's called?
It's called Function. Yeah, Function 101.
Okay.
That's the company name. Yeah.
That's the company name that makes it. Yeah.
And they're back ordered until the end of the month.
But
they've been hard to find.
You might want to go to Logitech because they have these Harmony remotes. This right here is a, okay, of course I can't see.
But they don't have anything for 30 bucks.
Well, no, these are not $30. Now that's
Those are $100 remotes.
Well, no, actually, now you know me. Hey, you're tech miser. I got this for about like $60 or less. But the thing about it is, this controls everything. And when I mean everything, there is nothing I have found that this will not control. And the nice thing is, when I want to watch TV, I just press watch TV. It turns on the television. It turns on the what do you call that thing? The receiver, and it turns on like the Apple television, all three, and it turns everything to the right input. And
yeah,
I have a question. I have a question about Apple TV itself. My wife and I watch a bunch of series that are commercial free on the Apple TV. Now, my problem is I can't remember whether it's Hulu or it's Netflix, or it's Amazon Prime, or it's CBS, which I do subscribe to, or it's, so is there any utility or methodology by which I could just say, hey, Outlander, where is it? Was that on Netflix? Was that on Hulu? Was that on, you know, is there a way to kind of do that?
The TV app on Apple TV does some of that, but not all the services are integrated into that. So for instance, I don't think Netflix is. So that's a little bit of a problem. Now that George was talking about that, find what to list. There's a couple of apps that, you know, find the series. So you might have to do it, you know, separately, but
okay.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So where's Wallander, or where's whatever it is, you could go that way. It's sort of disconnected, but it might help.
Okay, because Apple, if you do this series, it'll show you the series. It'll show you the series you want and how much it's going to cost to buy it from Apple.
Well, but take a little closer look at the TV app. Navigating that's a little odd sometimes, but you're right. It's a problem.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like Bob was saying, if you go out to a website, you're probably going to get, like I was talking about, the decider, and then using Google what to watch. That's probably going to give you the least expensive, probably, or more options.
Sounds good.
And by the way, just for people who are having trouble with smart TVs and apps getting updated, look around. It's a little harder to find. There are smart TVs that run on, it's called Google TV. Okay, so you're in the Google ecosystem. So, you know, your mileage may vary, but those apps tend to get updated fairly regularly. So my only smart TV is a Sony that is run on Google TV, and it works pretty well. So I don't know how good Samsung is on updating their apps, but yeah, they do tend to lag. You're right.
Hey, Bob, I second your suggestion to use the Apple TV app. It's an app that everybody has on their iPad or iPhone, and they probably have never used it. But for what it's worth, I just went to that while you guys were talking, and I typed in House of Cards, and it shows me that it's available on Netflix. So you thought Netflix wasn't available there, but it showed me that. So
yeah, that's good.
So and use it as, I mean, it may not have everything, but it has a lot. It has Hulu. So if you haven't tried it out, type in a series and it will show you where it's available, where it's free, where you can pay for it, etc. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's nice. Is there a web browser for Apple TV?
You know what? I'm glad, Frank, you asked that, because I was just thinking the same thing. We were all talking about that. Is there a web browser for Apple TV?
Why do you want a browser when you've got an app?
Well, a browser app.
Is an app, yeah.
Why is because I don't want to go, well, I guess you probably switch back out to your, go to your Mac and use it on the Apple TV, but it would be nice so that I don't have to pick up a different, so I can use the Apple TV remote versus going to my Mac. It would be, but I totally get what you're going with, Frank.
I'd like to surf the web on the Apple TV, because I'd like to have George's your what was the name of that app that you can find out where things are?
Decider. There's
Oh, yeah,
Decider and-
Decider. I like to go to the Decider and know, oh, yeah, it's on Netflix, and boom, I'm there.
Let's see if they have an app, but go ahead.
Oh, and by the way, Netflix does have some of the Star Trek stuff still.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they license it outside the United States. So like the Discovery and Picard are all you can watch it if you live in the UK. But
No, you
also
can watch them here.
You can watch them here.
I don't know, not Discovery and Picard, but those, because those are CBS. But like if you want to watch
Right.
Deep Space,
Yeah, those are on there.
Some of those are on there.
Yeah,
Now,
the
who
other
knows what's going to
Janko.
happen as this thing gets messier, right? As everybody breaks up into little verticals.
Of course, I use a VPN and I can watch it without.
Shush.
Well, also, don't forget that because of different agreements that they have with the people, the individual studios and people who make things, you're going to see some stuff be in one place today and be gone tomorrow. And that's the reason why I say don't pay for any of this. But because
there's a website which is what's leaving Netflix this month. You know, seriously, it's what's coming in and what's leaving.
Right.
And that's happened. We were watching a series and boom, it was gone. Yeah, Just Watch. That's I've seen that.
This is the app you might want to look at for your iPhone and iPad. It's called Just Watch, and what it does is it allows all your streaming services are in one app, and it gives you where to watch, what to watch, and what's new, all in one app. Yeah, it's called Just Watch.
Thank you.
Dave's going to post that. Dave will post that link to in the community.
In fact, it works on the Apple TV.
There's one for the Apple TV.
Yep. See that?
Oh, then the heck with the browser.
I gotta make sure I download it on my Apple TV.
Can I back up just for 1 second? For those people who are committed to the Apple remote, I actually have the one you mentioned, David. It's wonderful. But a case for the Apple remote like this really makes a difference because you never make it upside down, which is always a problem for me.
Perfect.
But it still doesn't keep you from losing it. But I get it. But you're right, because I got I put one of those on mine and I still can't. I'm like, what the heck is that thing?
Add a tile to it.
That's right. Put that in the
an Apple iTag, which hasn't been announced yet.
Which we mentioned.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
See the reason why we come to these things? Just watch. That right there is worth, what I talked about, what Dave talked about. Hey, this is all worth the price of admission, right?
Is this going to go to YouTube?
Yes, it's on YouTube right now. We're live.
I was watching it on YouTube while I was sitting in I can't talk land. I'm so sorry.
I'm actually if you're looking at the screen right now, this is the actual Apple TV, and if it lets me switch.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that's what it's going to look like on the Apple TV.
Ooh.
I will be installing that.
You go to search. Yeah.
See, this is the Apple TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just installed the app and it's on here. Did anybody know you can actually tap and hold these icons and you can move them
around? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you can have folders too.
You can have folders as well.
Aren't you? Which app are you using to broadcast your Apple TV?
I am using it's something you have for free, which you like free. I'm using QuickTime Player, and you can just stream it right.
I saw that.
QuickTime Player.
But you can't do that with the movies.
I think it may not. No, I thought you could watch them. I'm not sure. Let me see.
Well, the QuickTime TV is recording, isn't it?
No, you just tell it to play it. You can record it if you want to. I don't know why my Netflix isn't signed in, but here's that Lowcast app that's Les mentioned. So you can So I've got to activate that. You got to activate it on your iPad. Some of these things I haven't looked at in a while. So
yeah, I've mentioned Lowcast sometime.
And here's Plex. I actually have a Plex server set up beyond the.
Oh, you have great taste, Dave.
Yeah,
the IT crowd is hilarious.
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, look, you have Three Stooges.
Yeah, I do. I found them. So yeah, besides besides the free movies that you get on the web shows, and there you were talking about news. There's some of the news stuff for writers, and a lot of those others are linked to this too through Plex. So another option being able to watch.
Yeah, we could actually, to be honest with you, we could take each one of these websites. Well, we could take Plex and make it its own. Actually, sit up for probably about an hour and talk about Plex itself.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I have a Plex server too. And
guys are making me mad that I shut my Plex server down. I have to go turn it back on again.
well, I just got a new Synology NAS drive that I just set up, so it's really
Yeah.
screaming now.
I just redid mine. I just redid my NAS, and that's why it's not running. So,
for those of you who are not aware of what NAS is
network attached storage. Yeah.
Right. What it is?
That's a deep subject.
Very deep.
Box that basically has a little small microprocessor in it for the brains, and you put a bunch of hard drives in it, and it's up on your network as storage. So it's a big honking hard drive sitting out there with a little brain.
Hey, how about next meeting, a demo?
I vote for that. I'd like to learn how to.
I'd like to learn more about NAS.
Well, here's the thing. It takes whoever's going to do that. Notice everybody got quiet. We will take that to our programs team and have them put that on their list, because it's not something that you're going to be able to get together in 1 month. I can tell you that now.
That's fine. Whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But our programs team will actually.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list. We got a lot of stuff, great stuff planned for the next 6 months, actually. From what.
But
Davis
that's
told
a
us.
good one to add. I hadn't thought about adding that one, and all kinds of things. So backups to NAS and Plex and a bunch of other little stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
You can always spend more money on technology.
Exactly.
Yeah, sort of a vacuum in that way.
By the way, here's my question. Has anybody basically changed out their router within maybe the past 6 months? Because I noticed the router that came out that is like $450, and it's a it's going to be one that was just released. It's a 6E or something like that.
Well, be careful about routers.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah. Don't go too far yet with routers.
Well,
That's,
because there's that new standard that's coming out.
Yeah, so it's Wi-Fi 6.
Right. That's But no, Wi-Fi 6E.
Yeah, Wi-Fi 6. Let's
And
we're getting really down the geek road here.
Yeah,
that's going to be allowing you a gigabit.
I was wondering if anybody actually changed out their router. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, there's different standards, and like most people have the N or AC, which is a different protocol. I was just wondering if anybody's actually changed out their router.
I did.
Yes.
I changed my router to, I went with the Wide Open West's.
Arrow, EERO is what you got.
EERO is what I got.
Yeah.
And I made a big mistake because my old router, I had 4 Ethernet cables going where I wanted them to go and split off to the different devices that I have. Well, EERO allowed me 1 extra.
So you have to have a switch.
So I have a switch, but you know what the switch does? The switch takes your 1 gigabit per second speed and drops it all the way down to 100 megabits per second.
That's because you have the wrong switch.
Right. You have
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, you have a 100 megabit switch instead of a gigabit switch.
And by the way, they have them on sale. I think Costco might have one for like $20.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Gigabit
switches are cheap.
Yeah, switches are cheap. You should be able to get one for like $20.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know. Well, this was totally worth it today. I'll tell you.
Just give us your credit card. We'll take care of you.
Yeah,
No
you'll
problem.
take care. Bob, come over to the house. How much will you charge?
No. I don't do home visits until we have a vaccine and I've been properly safely vaccinated. But yeah, we can do Wi-Fi again. I would think a Wi-Fi thing would be good again to do, routers and Wi-Fi. I think that one, I don't know where, I have to go look at Davis's list, but that would be a good one to bring up with everybody working from home and stuff. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, it might be able to
more
get
and
Dave
more of us
Hamilton.
are moving away from the integrated where the Wi-Fi is integrated into the router. More and more of us in IT land are moving away from that because of the changing standards. It makes it easier to adapt. So you just change, you get a new standard, you change the access point to the new standard, and then all the routing and switching stays the same. But that's a little bit more expensive and adds more complexity. And it's another thing that we do, but yeah.
That sounds good.
Hey, we're asking about being able to share the video. Here's Lowcast, which I just had, and as you see, you can watch it on your computer too by sharing.
Right.
The only downfall of the Lowcast here is every time you change a channel, you have to watch this long ad.
Well,
Yes.
but for $60 a year, which they say you saw that $5 a month, it takes that away. Lowcast only shows you local over the air stuff, but
the over the air stuff. But this is the actual. Yeah, right now we're watching the actual commercial on the channel. But if you pay the $5, will it remove their ads at the beginning of each time?
Yes, it removes their ads. And also, Lowcast is a nonprofit.
Yeah, which I'm surprised how they get away with this.
They are under heavy legal pressure right now. They're trying.
How they actually get over is the guy who actually started it used to work for the FCC, and he knows the loophole. And of course, people are trying to sue him out of existence, but they're not going to. I think they're going to probably win. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I sure hope so.
This is all over the air channons. So I mean, this is like
Exactly.
if you had an antenna, you're able to watch all this stuff. There's always good stuff here.
Does it record?
No, it does not have a record feature. If you want to, no, it doesn't have a record feature. I'm trying to think if there is an option that actually has a DVR with local channels.
Yeah. There's about half a dozen of them.
YouTube TV will allow you to pick a favorite and it'll record them.
But can you get local channels on YouTube TV?
Yeah, local channels on YouTube TV.
But they don't. With YouTube TV, you have to watch the commercials and the recordings.
That's true. They record it, but there's no fast forwarding.
That's the one thing that really shocked me because RCN here in the city actually has TiVo. And I was really shocked that it's restricted TiVo because certain things, like if you do the on demand, you can't, like you say, you can't fast forward by the commercials. Like my TiVo outright that I purchased from TiVo, of course, I don't have that restriction.
Yeah. And the thing that's happening with TiVo, unfortunately, is TiVo is changing. And because we use TiVo fairly extensively here at the house, and they're actually inserting their own ads now ahead of the recordings that you have to mess to get around.
I don't have that problem.
Have you updated recently in the last 6 months the OS on your TiVos?
Yeah.
But okay, it's there.
I banned my TiVo.
I don't have that. You own your TiVo?
Oh, of course I own my TiVo. I bought it myself.
Oh, okay.
Just go into the TiVo community and read around.
Oh.
From what I've read about the TiVo, I have a TiVo. They've only done it to some people, not everybody. Apparently, they're sort of testing to see how much people hate it.
Yeah. Do you pay
a lot?
Do you pay monthly for your TiVo, or did you buy?
I bought the pass where you pay for the thing ahead of time, so you pay them $400 or $300, whatever it is.
Yeah. So did I, but I'm now having that ad insertion issue.
Yeah, you got to call them on the phone and beat them up. I haven't tried yet.
Yeah, you do have to call them on the phone and beat them up on stuff, because I actually have beat them up, and I will tell you, when you actually beat them up, you get results. Sometimes you may have to go up a level, but you will get results.
Yeah,
but
this one's a. We've started moving away from TiVo because we're using that less because of the way of what we're watching on TV these days. So there's only a couple of shows that we actually record regularly.
Right. I'm debating on whether or not I want to get away from it, because it is one of the only things that I actually pay for, and I'm like, well, I'm only paying $10 a month. So I'm like, I like the fact that I can still fast forward past commercials.
They have the best skip around, move around of any of these devices, and that's their patent. What's happened with TiVo, just as from a macro, is the company is getting sold. It's getting broken up for its patents, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were their own company, and then they got sold to what was it, Roxio or
yeah,
and then that was the end of it.
There's so much that's going on with it, and that was one of the reasons I saw that coming, and I said to myself, do I really want to get the pass, and how long am I going to keep this? And so
and then there's also some other DVR type boxes out there. Amazon has one. Is it Channel Master has one? Which is kind of interesting. There's 5 or 6 of them out there that it's a little black box with a hard drive, and there's HD Home Run. There's a whole bunch of devices like that. So I use an HD Home Run, and which is a little black box that isn't sitting here right now, and it's got 2 receivers in it, and it records, and then it will record to TV, and it'll go into Plex, and then you can watch it in Plex, and that's a really deep dive. We don't need to go there yet. But
yeah, I dabbled in that, but the problem is just getting a good outside antenna, and
good outside antenna you need for all that, and paying for a directory service so that you know when to record. It's just, the whole thing is just, the complexity adds upon the complexity, and it makes it almost untenable.
And that's the reason why I actually pay the $10 a month for the TiVo because it's just seamless.
If you're watching over-the-air TV,
well, you know,
I honestly think TiVo.
Well, I didn't mean to put them on mute like that, but yeah, you're right. I'm watching over-the-air TV, and it makes it really, hey, $10 and I'm done.
Well, that's how I feel about Hulu. I'll wait for the series to be there.
All right. That site is bad to the bone. But the one thing about it is like I said, I'm paying that. And the nice thing is, because, you know, when you look at the news is like, let's say WGN News at 5 o'clock. It's an hour show. Not for me, because I get through it in about 15 minutes. And to me, it's worth paying that $10 a month for, because of my time.
Let's change gears a little bit. I'd like to talk a little bit about the community, and I'd like to know what people's thoughts are of it. What can we do to make it better? I would like to see more activity, and I know not everybody's busy. I'm going to share my screen here, that I have it, I'm hoping everybody that's on this call today is in the community. If you're not, please let me know, and we will get you in there. But we're trying to post more things in here. All the links for today's meeting, as well as the link to the video, will be posted in the community. I did that with iPhone SIG, and so please, I'd like to hear any comments, suggestions, or questions about the community.
Hey, Dave. I think it would be great to have a program where you actually teach us how to use it. I think you'd see a lot more involvement if we knew how to use it.
Okay. Maybe we should do a special event just for that.
When I logged into the community, it popped up a little wizard that had little, screenshots of showing you how to use it, and I found that really helpful. I almost watched all of them. It had at least 10, or if not more, little short things, and it was interactive.
When you get into it, when you first get into it, it runs you through a whole bunch of that stuff. You just have to go in, and it's got a little robot that does a lot of that for you. So yeah, but I agree, Becky. We should do more of that.
Can you show what the robot is?
I don't know if I can make it kick back off again for somebody.
Those videos only go on when you first sign in?
Yeah, it's that I don't know if I can change somebody's user status to make that start back up again.
If I'm not mistaken, I think our programs team is actually supposed to be working on a video.
Yes, they are,
regarding that. So
yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So we heard you about that, and we're working on that. So we'll get back with you on that one.
I have a question. This is Celeste.
Yes, Celeste.
So I've been reluctant to sign up for the community because my experience with other communities in the past has been that I start getting deluged by emails. Every time somebody posts something, there's another email.
You can turn that off.
Simplify my life. So I want to know more about this before I think about signing up. Even though I would like to be able to get on the community and ask questions, I don't want to have this constant flow of notifications.
You can absolutely turn that on or off however you want to do it, so it all stays inside. Dave's gonna drive down a little bit and stuff, so it doesn't do any of. So it doesn't do that. It stays inside of it. What I do the most on a community, because I'm involved in 6 of them now, 5 or 6 of them. I actually use the iPad app. If you have an iPad, there's a Discourse Hub app for iPad. I think it's on iPhone too. And that's where I do most of my interaction. It works really well. And I keep everything inside of there, and I turn off email for almost all of them. But what happens is if you start there, Dave's showing it.
It's in the settings. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, you're in admin.
You're in the admin.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're in the
User preferences, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm an admin. I get is it under
Just go to settings.
Settings here. Okay.
It should be in there.
And then user preferences.
Yeah, I think we might want to have somebody who doesn't have admin access to show.
Well, he could turn admin off, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might want to turn off your admin access so that you can actually show the user.
No, he's in the right place.
Oh, really?
Is it
I just don't remember where I don't remember where it is off the top of my head, but it's there.
I think
it could be turned off. We'll make sure that that's as soon as I find it, we'll put it in. We'll actually.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll send out it. What we ought to do maybe is a couple of short email blasts with some help. I think that's we need to be a little more aggressive in that. So
yeah. So yeah, Celeste, you definitely can shut it off.
Don't be afraid. Yeah.
So you can just be in the community and you go in when you choose.
Okay.
And so notice Dave's got it right there. So it shows you, see the red line on the screen. So it shows what's happened since Dave's last visit, that kind of stuff. So you can keep it all inside. You can say, don't email me, all of that. Because it could get noisy. There's not many on here. I have a couple of them that are extremely noisy. You could have 70 emails a day if you let it. So
we're not that kind of people. We don't have 70 emails a day. But in this community,
this is we need to build it up a little more. You're right.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is though, if you actually have questions for us, don't hesitate to actually send an email or go out to the website and actually just click on contact us and actually submit your question. So, or anyone, if you have a question or a concern about the community or the website or anything regarding our organization. Because we only meet once a month in this format, and then we have our city.
Twice.
So we have
twice a month.
Twice a month now.
Oh, excuse me. We only meet every other week. I forgot we're going to the new the online format. So, but if there ever a concern comes up, and don't hesitate, like I say, go out to the website, go out to the community, and post it so we can put it on the radar to actually fix it or address it. Because we can't fix, we don't know it's broke.
Well, I was thinking more of questions that I have about using my computer and stuff. That was one thing I really enjoyed about the live meetings. I could just walk into the room and say, help, I can't.
Well, and that's part of what we're doing here right now. So we can do some of that. So if you got questions, that's what we're trying to do in this segment a little bit too.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a real question. I don't usually ask a question. Anybody want to? Okay. I use the mail app on my iPad all the time for my mail.
Okay.
And in the last several months, what's been happening to me is when I, tap a mail to read it, the blue dot that says it was unread stays there. It doesn't shut off. And so it doesn't mark it as that I'm reading it. And the only way that I can get that blue dot to disappear is to physically go in and down at the bottom and, under the share, there's an option that says, mark as read or mark as unread. Well, I have to mark it as unread. Now, what's quirky about this is if I power down my iPad for a short period of time, it starts working properly, but then very quickly it sort of resumes back to this, not working, where it keeps the thing marked as red. Now, I've never had this problem in all the years I've owned iOS devices. It's only happening in the last couple of months, which of course is iOS 13. I'm wondering if it's a 13 bug. But it's annoying because I use that for all my mail. I get lots of mail, and I have to manually mark them as red now, which is goofy. So that's the question. Anybody have an idea? Anybody experiencing this?
I am not experiencing it. Which email service is it on? Is it Apple Mail, or is it Apple's mail service, or Gmail, or one of those?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's all of them.
Yes, I've got my mail app connected to Apple's mail. I've got it connected to Gmail. I've got it connected to other mail services. And now the weird thing is it doesn't happen on my iPhone. They're both the same iOS release, but it just happens on the iPad.
Yeah, but they're two different. They're two different operating systems. So
right.
And you're up to date, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Occasionally, but usually it's more like a delay. Like it might take 10 seconds before it actually marks it as red.
Yeah.
And I have tied that experience over to the email is not completely loaded. So once the email finishes loading, then it will mark it as red, even though I've been reading it. And usually it's marketing emails, things that have a lot of images. And if it's slow in downloading everything, it often won't clear it. So I don't know if that's related, but I would ask you, how old is your iPad and how quickly is it connected?
It's a couple years old. It's an iPad Pro. I mean, it's fairly new.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem then.
It's a fast iPad. I mean, I like it. So yeah, and my internet service it's Xfinity. It seems pretty fast all the time. I mean, I don't notice slow. I mean, once in a while there may be a slowdown, but I don't notice it that much.
Well, one thing I've had luck with in really annoying ways, because it doesn't seem like this should really fix things, but it has, is to go in deep in settings. There's a place where you can reset all of your network settings. You don't have to erase your content. It's in that section, but resetting network settings got some really annoying messages inconsistencies fixed for one of my clients. And I can't remember the other problem it fixed, but it was related to email for her. So you may try that. I think
I've lived with this for a couple months, and here's what I'm thinking. 14's coming out pretty soon. I'm thinking, well, when I reinstall 14, maybe the problem will disappear because it's, and so I'm sort of willing to wait. But it's been annoying for the last couple months because like I said, I use my iPad for reading my mail more than my iPhone because it's just got a bigger screen. It's easier to deal with it. So it's just been annoying. It's minor but annoying.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be happening to you,
right?
And,
that's
and
the
it's
way
not.
I figured.
Yeah, and it's not everybody in the here going, oh, it's happening to me too. So there's something specific. One thing to do to try, Randy, is to, and I hate to do this, but force quit the app. When it starts out, if it starts like him, force quit the app and then go back in and see if that makes it works. That might isolate it, whether it's the app or something else in the iPad, like the network or something like that.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of right off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's like I said, this is a quirky thing, but I thought I'd throw it out there because it's a real problem I have. And
it's terrible. It would drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's like I said, if I power down and power it up, because I do that once in a while on my iPad, it seems to work for really not long, maybe 2 or 3 emails that I read, and then it starts reverting back to that behavior.
There's something going on. I'm leaning towards, and Dave's got the reset network settings there. There's a couple of issues about that. Yeah. Reset network settings. Give that a shot and see if that, I would do it in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, but when I do that, I've done that before. I'm going to have to re-enter.
I know
passwords on.
Yeah, Wi-Fi passwords and all that. It's a little bit of it's a PETA.
It's a pain, but
it might be what you need.
It clears things up. I've done it many times.
And the whole soft reset thing too, where you do the power up,
Yeah.
power down, with
Yeah,
the iPad
I
Pro.
think I tried that a while ago.
Yeah. So start
did
out
some-
trying to force quit the app and then see if that flows, and then we'll escalate over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, okay. All right, well.
But then, is there a way, you know how when you receive emails and they go into junk mail and you want to be able to say, this email is okay or whatever?
Well, okay, that, now that's another thing. I wish Apple would change the way they do things on the iOS environment as opposed to the Mac environment. I mean, but here's what I mean by that. Whether or not things go into the junk mail, you really don't have any direct control over, it seems. By that, I mean,
Randy, hold on for a second. Are you actually answering Marcia's question? Because we only have about 5 more minutes, and we want to make sure that Marcia's question.
Okay, no, I didn't realize the question.
So we want to let somebody answer Marcia's question.
Yeah, let her ask it again. Marcia, ask the question again, Marcia, because I want to make sure we're answering it before we have to go.
Okay. So I want to. Sometimes you'll get emails from people and they say, make sure that you put me in your email or whatever, your contact list, so that you receive all my emails. Because I have, people that I get emails from, and sometimes it'll go into junk mail and sometimes it goes into the regular mail. And when I go through the junk mail, I want to be able to tell it, this email address is okay, but it seems like I'm not seeing that. And where do I add it as a contact? I have to put it in the actual contact list, or there's somewhere within mail preferences, or?
I tried fixing that problem with mail preferences and it didn't work for me. I tried, when I was on that email, I tried going to mail preferences and
you have to add that person as a contact in order to have it stay in regular inbox.
So you just go into your contacts and
no, you can do it. You can go, Dave, can you demo adding an email address as a contact since you got an iPhone up there?
Yeah. So you go. So you go into the mailbox. You're talking about from within.
Yeah. So open up that Microsoft, and then click on the Microsoft up there, and now you can click on that, and now you can add them, create a new contact. All right.
Right there.
And that helps.
Okay.
By the way, something else. Go back to that, Dave. If that is a person that you actually want to see all the time and really get, you can add them as a VIP, and then there's a VIP section.
Then you got to add that list too. I mean,
so
it doesn't.
You add the VIP list. So that's a good feature for those things that are real high priority in your life.
Yeah,
like emails from me.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one-step process to do.
So you're saying once I add them as a contact,
it should reduce that.
Yeah.
Unless they're sending a lot of spammy content. If they're sending spammy content, it's liable to get blocked every now and then. The spam blocking is a war that just is never ending, and it's a really tough problem.
Now, when you tap edit here, if you want to go in and select the email that came in, and you can move things to the junk, but if you also go into the junk, the thing is, it all depends on your your email service. So, like in this case, I have there's an email here that's junk. I may not want that to be. I may not want that to be a junk anymore. I can move it back to the inbox. I went actually into the accounts. See, I've got a lot of multiple accounts here. So my Outlook account, I had that junk email, and I don't want that to be junk. So I went in there and I marked it and I moved it. So then once the next time that email is sent, it should not go into junk mail again, and vice versa. I mean,
it does learn. It's still not perfect.
It's not perfect. No, there's by no means. Yeah.
It's unfortunately technology getting in our road of doing actual work sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that with if it's iCloud mail and you add it to your contact, it won't go into the junk anymore. But if it's Gmail or somebody else, it could potentially still go into junk, even though you have it in your contact?
Yeah.
It could potentially go into junk from any,
right,
because of the spam score of the math that they do when they look at the email.
Because each service has their own junk mail.
Well, no. It's the filtering on in the device that's doing the junk mail.
There's filtering on both sides there, but the thing about it is that like Dave said, it is a war. And we know that unfortunately there are casualties in war. One of those casualties in war is our time, and we have actually reached our time limit. Okay, and as our host, you know how I am about time. It is now 10:30 Central Time, and I just want to say that those of you who are watching this and the recording who are not members, please don't hesitate to go to our website of myscau.org and click on and sign up to become a member. We would love to have you. Those of you who are live, we appreciate your time. Don't hesitate to come back for our next meeting, which is, when's our next meeting? What's today?
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. And then also we have an photo sig. When's that coming in?
Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. So don't hesitate to sign up for that.
This coming Wednesday, right?
This coming
Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday. And the topic this coming Wednesday is?
Mirrorless and DSLR cameras.
Wow. So a lot of good cameras. Okay, of course. Okay, and I'm your host, George Brooks, and we appreciate you taking the time to visit with us and come back and see us at the photo sig and in 2 weeks also. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.